King Frederik and Queen Mary of Denmark reunited with Prince Joachim and Princess Maria in Copenhagen after not appearing in public for several weeks. However, this reunion was marked by sad news. The funeral of Per Tornit, who died on July 30th at the age of 82, took place on Thursday at Holmen Church in the Danish capital. Per Tornit was the head of the secretariat of Frederick and Mary of Denmark until 2010 and one of the key figures in the life of the Queen of Denmark, who could be seen very moved during the service, barely holding back tears. Tornit was a great support for Maria during her first period in the country and helped the Australian to adapt to the customs of Denmark and learn the language. He was also a very important man to King Frederik and his brother, who considered him a second father. Although the king and queen were supposed to resume their work schedule on Monday, after attending various competitions as part of the Olympic Games in Paris, Frederick and Maria did not hesitate to take a break from their schedule to support the family of Per Tornit during this difficult time. His influence went beyond administrative duties. He was deeply involved in mentoring the young princes, Frederick and Joachim, and helped them navigate their role in the monarchy. Tornit was especially known for his directness and support, for which he received the affectionate title of a royal advisor. His contributions also included guiding future members of the royal family, such as Mary Donaldson, now Queen Mary, during her early days in Denmark. He gave her princess lessons, which included not only royal rules of conduct, but also cultural knowledge, helping her to easily integrate into Danish society. This connection between Tornit and the royal family was evident during his funeral, at which Queen Mary and King Frederik were visibly moved, which emphasized Tornit's deep personality. In addition, the funeral was a rare moment of unity for the Danish royal family, especially for Frederik and his brother Joachim, who have had a strained relationship in recent years. This event allowed them to come together, offering mutual support in a difficult moment, which was also captured in a touching moment when they hugged at the service. It was the Danish press that published photos of the king and queen at the funeral, supporting the family of the former head of the secretariat, Frederick and Maria, as well as Frederick and Maria, Joachim and Marie, with whom they do not have a very even relationship, attended the service, which is explained by the connection of the youngest son of Queen Margrethe with Per Tornit. Until now, it was not known whether the couple took advantage of this reunion to spend some time together, since it is known that they have not seen each other since Joachim went alone to Denmark to proclaim his brother king. Apart from the sadness of the Danish kings on this day, the face of Queen Mary attracted the most attention. Greatly affected by the death of Per Tornit, King Frederik's wife dressed entirely in black, with a pleated skirt and a V-neck blouse. Despite the large Pamela and makeup, the queen wore a small bandage on her jaw, which aroused the curiosity of journalists covering the religious service. According to the Danish media, which contacted the press service of the royal house, the Australian suffered a minor accident, but nothing serious happened. The same sources confirmed that the Queen suffered an accident while riding one of her favorite sports. No further details were given about the exact circumstances of the injury. This is not the first time that Queen Mary supports her husband in a difficult moment and feels the bitterness of loss herself. There is a dark side behind her sweet smile. Her daily life may seem like a fairy tale, but life has not spared her. At the age of 25, Frederick of Denmark's wife suffered a tragedy. She lost her mother Henrietta, who died at the age of 55. It was a great loss for the new queen, who regularly recalls this and once said in an interview, "I felt lonely. It seemed that no one understood what I was going through, and I came to a dead end, while the whole world around me was moving forward," she admitted on television. "I would like to spend more time with her." 5 years later, she burst into tears at a conference. For a while it was difficult for me to remember her image, voice and warm smile, she said. It is difficult, if not impossible, to find meaning in the loss of a loved one. But what really makes sense and what cannot be taken away is everything that we had with this man. However, this overwhelming pain allowed her to strengthen her relationship with Frederik. A few months after their meeting in Australia, in November 2000, Queen Ingrid died. Close to his grandmother, the then Crown Prince was devastated. In tears, he called Maria, who found words to comfort him. After almost 24 years, she is still his mainstay. This story shows how deep the connections between personal tragedies and royal duties can be. The passing of Per Tornit and his influence on the royal family emphasize that, despite their high position, kings and queens face the same feelings as ordinary people. The presence of King Frederick and Queen Mary at the funeral of Per Tornit testifies not only to their respect for the man who was their mentor and friend, but also that even among public duties there is a place for personal feelings and memories. Queen Mary, in particular, embodies an example of how the pain of loss can turn into a source of strength and compassion. Her ability to support her husband, despite her own experiences, makes her role not only symbolic, but also deeply human. These moments remind us that despite the regal luxury, members of the royal family also live with the weight of loss and worry. It is also important to note that losses like these often contribute to strengthening family ties. Despite possible disagreements, in moments of deep sadness, as in the case of Tornit's funeral, the family unites. This once again underlines that family ties, even in royal families, are the foundation on which all other aspects of their lives are built. Queen Mary's personal experiences show that behind the external splendor and official duties, royal life is full of emotional trials. Her open confessions about her own losses and experiences make her closer and more understandable to people, showing that everyone, regardless of their position, seeks solace in loved ones. Thank you for watching this video and sharing this sad moment with us. Your support for the royal family in such difficult times is incredibly important. Remembering those we have lost, we feel how strong the bonds between us are. May the memory of them live in our hearts, and your dedication and sympathy will help us get through these difficult days.